Folks, you hear about this crazy thing called New York City? Yeah, no, it was loud for me too. Yeah. Oh man, what a cute little Vespa too. Look at that. That's so... I couldn't get to school. The train was fucking flooded, Vosh. Yeah.
Ready for this?
Okay, that part wasn't so bad. Alright, this is just a compilation of... There we go. Now, you might notice that it's really bad, actually. Considering the fact that hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers live in, like, basement apartments as well. I mean, the whole metro. I mean, it's all underground. You know, this is a city with a lot of underground space. It's really bad. Oh yeah, I saw this one. This one is particularly insane. The vortex. I love the fact that there are still people driving. Like, it's America, you know, we're Americans here. If you gotta get somewhere, yeah, just keep it going. Whatever. New Yorker attitude. Yeah, I'm walking here. Yeah, exactly. I'm driving here. Just gotta pick up some food. Incredible. I'm swimming here. New Yorkers can't drive for shit. Well, to be fair, nobody could in 3 feet of water. That's not a good place to drive under any circumstances. This is really bad. Did you know that a completely unprecedented, wild, ultra-destructive storm crippling one of the largest and most economically essential cities on Earth is actually really bad? Is this climate change related? Yes. Climate change is never responsible for any single incident, but it is on aggregate responsible for more and worse incidents. Thank you, Demon Mama. I appreciate that. Seven inches of rain! Oh my god. And how much was this? How much was... It said up to 6 inches for this one, right? It's just going to keep getting worse. Yeah, seen more than 6 inches of rain. So it probably exceeded that, didn't it? Some say 7 inches is quite a lot, actually. Yeah.
The state of emergency in New York, a deluge of 2 months' worth of rain falling on the city in 24 hours, causing severe flooding in some areas. Smart Theodore is here with the latest as things dry.
Whoa!
Theodore is here with the latest.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Latest as things dry out a bit. Samara, good morning.
Good morning. So yesterday's powerful and moisture-laden storm capped off New York City's second wettest September on record as torrential rainfall
all at once
left those in transit in dangerous and simply impossible situations.
This morning, New Yorkers drying out after a dangerous deluge left many areas underwater from record-breaking rain. Over the last 24 hours...
Oh yeah, by the way, the economic damage of this one event, I swear to God, is going to exceed, like, the total cost of the next federal bill passed to address climate change. Like, this is, like, multiple billions of dollars. And this is just one incident in one city, you know? It's like that, oh, well, how much will it cost to avert climate change? Well, compared to what? You know? Now, yeah, and all the mold damage, the infrastructural damage. I mean, how many buildings are going to end up being, like, assessed in a couple of years to not be viable for inhabitants because of internal damage following this?
Unrelenting rain turning roads into rivers, cars stranded as people flee for dry ground, and millions of New Yorkers urged to shelter in place. In New Jersey, a state of emergency, floodwater swamping roads, making travel dangerous and nearly impossible. In Fairfield, watch as a firefighter...
Oh yeah, I have good news for everyone, okay? There are lots of rats in New York City, and rats love swimming, okay? It's gonna be okay for the rats, all right? The rats had a pool party. They're fine.
Hoist a driver over his shoulders, rescuing him from the stranded car in the middle of a flooded street.
Good man.
One of at least 18 rescues throughout the region. In New York, states of emergency in New York City and the Hudson Valley. One of the Big Apple's wettest days on record, with more than half a foot of rain falling. The NYPD sharing video of this sea lion that escaped from its enclosure due to the flooding, but returned without leaving the zoo.
Spend entire life in captivity. Freak rainstorm gives you freedom. Go outside the enclosure. See New York City. Go back in enclosure.
The torrential downpour sending water cascading down stairs at subway stations. The system coming to a complete halt as rain poured through openings and cracks.
Cool.
The system
cool.
coming to a complete halt as rain poured.
Cool. Love that. Definitely wouldn't be fleeing the subway in terror at the fear of this all collapsing, by the way.
Through openings and cracks. This video showing water shooting out of the wall at the 7th Avenue subway station in Manhattan.
Get off right here.
Riders on this city bus in a panic as water surges inside. Drivers abandoning their cars on the FDR highway on Manhattan's east side. At the city's LaGuardia airport,
Also, imagine how putrid the water flowing down from the streets. Yeah, all of this water is sewer water, by the way. That's the thing with flooding. It's the same. Anytime there's flooding in a city, the water mixes with the sewage, and it'll give you every disease. You know, whenever there is a flood, cities all become just pathologic. They all just become the setting pathologic. Whenever you see the TikTok videos of people doing little cute flips in the water when there's a flood, they're all dead now, okay? They have every disease. They all have cholera.
Terminal shut down as waters rise. More than 1,000 flights canceled or delayed. Hard-hit Brooklyn receiving nearly a month's worth of rain in just a few hours. Vehicles plowing through flooded roads and floating trash. A whirlpool forming over...
They're going to start selling us more of those disgusting, super huge trucks purely to deal with the climate crisis. It's going to be like, why do you need a Ford with a 5-foot tall bumper? And it's like, oh, obviously, so I can do this.
Vehicles plowing through flooded roads and floating trash. A whirlpool forming over a storm drain.
We saw that.
Brooklyn's 4th Avenue looking like a lake. SUVs creating waves as drivers test their luck despite the dangerous conditions.
Good luck, guys.
And you know what's wild about all this? As we see the ramifications of climate change persist, events like this will be more frequent. So let's see what we ended with here. So at JFK Airport, they saw 8.6 inches of rain. That was their wettest day on record since they began keeping that 1948.
All those cars are literally broken now. Oh, it's horrible for your car to drive it through floodwaters like that. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's incredibly bad. Like, think of what's on the underside of your car. Like, it's this complicated lattice of metal carrying everything. Like, yeah, incredibly bad for you. Well, for it. It's extremely dangerous too. You can easily drown that depth. Yeah, it depends on how fast the water is moving. But like, depending on the specifics, you can easily drown in about 2 feet of water. You know, it sounds really dumb. Like, well, I'm 6 feet tall. How would you? Well, if the water is fast enough, you can't see where your feet are going. You know, so you can get caught. You can trip on something. You fall forward, and the water's moving pretty fast. You know, you go downhill a little bit. Your face is under the water. You get poo face because the poop everywhere. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Is the thing that I'm saying to you? It's very not good. I want to watch one more purely out of morbid curiosity. It's the poo that gets you. It is the poo that gets you. Yeah. Give me one more. Hit me with this one.
A state of emergency. That's the declaration from the governor of New York as the state is inundated by constant rain that's led to flash floods and warnings in some areas that residents need to move to higher ground. Les Trent waded through this water world.
Chaos in the New York City subway system as heavy rain pounds the nation's largest city. These guys are actually using umbrellas in the subway. And it's not just the subway.
It's poo rain, too.
This is what parts of LaGuardia Airport looked like.
Oh my goodness.
This was the chaotic scene on the streets. Cars warily driving through the floods.
I am issuing a state of an emergency for New York City based on the weather conditions.
The mayor urged residents to stay in place or shelter at home.
Well, I was about to walk across the street and a police officer just drove by and said over his loudspeaker that I had to be careful because there are manhole covers underneath here that are actually open. So I'm glad I didn't make that attempt.
As New York becomes a water world.
As many as 23 million people are under flood watch.
23 million. That's like 1 in every 15 Americans. Like in all of America. A lot of people live in New York. Yeah, that's like a European country. Well, I mean, we make fun, but a lot of these people got to go back home or they got to go to work and they'll be fired. I know that sounds insane, but a lot of people just like, oh, you think you get to call out of work because of rain? And it's like, oh, well, can't be fired. I'm going to lose my fucking house. How do trains even run? As I understand it, of all of the modes of travel, trains are one of the most resilient to water. Not as much as boats, of course, but, you know. Planes? Actually, heavy rain can really fuck up a plane. Yeah, common train W, yeah. What about the New York City bathyspheres? Yeah, those two. Do subways deal with water? They have a lot of electronics that are like underground. It's pretty bad for a subway to flood, yeah. I mean, you can build around it to an extent, but yeah. 2-year-old video of rats swimming in New York City flooded metro. Okay, last one. This is from the last big storm, the hurricane. Hehe. Oh, look at him.
Oh, ina mo.
Look, he's doing little
Swimming lesson
spins.
ka pa, ha? My goodness, ayoko na talaga.
Wee.
Oh, ina mo.
Yeah, doing little spins in
Swimming
poo water.
lesson ka pa, ha? My goodness.
I'm not sure this is New York. Who cares? Rats are rats are rats. He's dead. He got every disease. It's a rat. I think they're fine. They love swimming. By the way, that is huge. Yeah, rats get pretty big. Mayor Adams. Oh, Eric Adams, our favorite guy. The guy who recently went before a group of his ultra-wealthy constituents and threw his arms up and he said basically, yeah, sorry, Rome is falling. Immigrants are coming in. It's all over. We don't have the money. There's nothing we can do. It's all over. Immigrants took away New York City from us. That guy did not heed Blasio-era New York City storm protocols before crippling flash floods. The document calls for preemptive emergency declarations, travel bans, and evacuation orders, none of which was acted on by Mayor Adams before last week's storm. Thanks, man. Great. Thank you. Thanks. Did a great job being mayor. Doing a great job. Love how basically 5 people showed up for the mayoral election in New York City. They all voted for this guy. And he's just a fucking lunatic. There was a tweet that I saw, which was something like after Eric Adams won the mayorship, a bunch of centrist liberals were like, see this, now we can finally see what happens when you get a common sense, moderate, no nonsense Democrat in office. And ever since that day, Eric Adams has just been like, leprechauns are real and I will catch and eat one. Yes. I don't know. Why does Cali get so much shit when our politics are way better than New York City, but everyone stands New York City? You know, I don't know. New York City Dems are definitely worse than Cali Dems. I think it's mostly because of San Francisco, to be honest. Like, it's literally just San Francisco that pulls the entire state in terms of, like, optics and perception. Also, California Dems are really bad about homelessness. Homelessness is pretty bad in Cali, dude. Okay, the reason why homelessness is worse over here than it is in New York, you know why? It's because if you guys have homeless, like, interminable homeless, you know what happens to them? They die! Because you have cold winters. In Los Angeles, being homeless, like, people would pay to be homeless in Los Angeles. You kidding me? Oh, the sun. You know, they live a long time. Assuming they don't die from any number of things homeless people die from. Like, you don't have perpetual homeless issues because your environment literally can't support it, okay? Our homeless are on Venice Beach. Vosh, please. In all seriousness, a big part of the reason why homelessness is disproportionately bad in Cali, apart from just the housing policy, is because the climate supports the existence of homeless people in a way that New York doesn't. If New York City had like permanent 75-degree weather, there would be a lot more homeless over there. What about Northern Cali homeless? I mean, even in Northern California, it's still pretty nice weather-wise. Yeah, they also ship homeless people over to California. What about Florida homeless? Isn't it legal to shoot homeless people in Florida? Aren't rent prices worse in Cali, thus more homeless? I mean, we're comparing it to New York. So, I mean, New York City isn't all of New York, even though it sometimes feels that way. There are like cheaper places to live in the state of New York. Though in California, there are also cheaper places to live. You know, not everyone has to live in LA. Yeah, whatever. I've been to Tokyo, ex-Oblivion. Is San Francisco really the worst part of Cali? Well, it's not the worst part of Cali. There are just really huge problems with it. And for all the money they have in San Francisco, there's no excuse either. It's San Diego. San Diego has its problems, but San Francisco is spiritually sick. Can we say that? That's fine, right? We can agree with that? I think we can. $700 a month. What a bargain. Oh, but here it says $900 a month. $900 a month with no kitchen. What the guys, remember how when we were growing up, like when we imagined an apartment, the amount we imagined was like $1,400 for a 2-bedroom. When I was growing up in LA, it was like, oh yeah, you get an apartment. Well, you better have like, I don't know, $1,400 a month for a 2-bedroom. You can split that with like another person or like a couple or whatever. And now like all housing prices have just like doubled since my early hazy preconception. I grew up in a place where you could get a 3-bedroom for $500. 3-bedroom for $500. Okay, that's even 20 years ago. That's really cheap. What like tiny Midwestern, like that's very, very cheap. You can get houses that are basically free in America, but you have to go out way from the city.